Hey, this is Andrew. It's August 7th, and I'm in Ohio. Okay, I'm going to show you something here. There's a couple. I'm shaking the camera. I'm not looking because I got zoomed out. Just have to mind me here. Well, the reason really why I came out over here was not because of the deer, but to talk a little bit about this. You know, aircraft emissions, you know, geoengineering, climate engineering, stratosphere. It is not, all atmospheric engineering is happening in the troposphere. People keep saying terms such as stratospheric aerosols, and that's not the case. That is the climate engineers like Dr. Robach, David Keith, Ken Calderia. You know, these people are supposed to be part of the bipartisan group that are supposed to be representing and giving answers, and all they do is give a bunch of nonsense. So people like Alexandra May Hunter, Olga Rafa, Bliss, Micheal Murphy, and Patrick Roddie need to go to the UNESCO meeting, Our Common Future, under climate change. Well, this is your climate change. You change the chemical composition of the atmosphere, and like Dr. Alan Robach has stated many times at the AAS meeting in San Diego and the symposium, Can Geoengineering Save Us from Global Warming, and this latest UNESCO meeting in France. He talks about you put aerosols that are been modeled under the Mount Pinatubo model, that if you plug that into a model, it shows that it creates drought. In other places it's going to create weather chaos. Is this our weather chaos? Yes, it is. Look at this. The entire atmosphere, as far as I can see to the west, is completely been manufactured. So, you know, this next week EPA meeting on aircraft emissions, there's going to be more speakers there, and Bliss, Amanda Williams, John Graf, and you know, this is what we need to continue to do, because these metallic salts and other compounds are affecting the flora, not just disrupting hydrological cycles like what's happening in California. I mean, this is a direct result of a perfect storm of events. You know, we can take weather variability and throw it out the window as a result of tampering with the atmosphere, is putting aerosols and not only frequencies that are being used to push the ionosphere, and you know, it's just such an onion layer of a nightmare. But the fact remains, this stuff here is going to come down to ground zero. And I'm already seeing, just looking at the flora here, the same things that I was seeing in California. The burning of the leaves, burning of the tips, as far as that's concerned, is pretty self-evident. You can see the burning tips of the leaves themselves. Everywhere I go, let's see if we can get the light just right, all have holes burnt into them. Everything, everywhere I look, all these plants, everywhere I go, I see the same thing that I was seeing in California. Now, anybody wants to talk about Fukushima fallout, I was witnessing this way before they ramped up in 2009. You know, the tops of the pine trees, even these trees, you can see the tops, a lot of them. Specifically the pine trees, I see a lot of that. And also the oak trees. You know, they're talking about sudden oak death and the yellow spotted bark beetle. Bullshit. It's metallic salts and the toxic material it's putting in the atmosphere. And the EPA wants to hide it. Well, you know, you can't hide the chemistry. This comes down to air toxic contaminants, and there's legislation in every state to protect the human health and environmental impacts and the economic impacts. Very simple. The people that have made their oath to protect the environment and so forth are failing. And the EPA should have stepped in. They're failing. And we've got to come in, like Max Bliss and others, to put them on notice. I mean, it's disgusting. Well, I've traveled all the way from East County, San Diego to Ohio, which I now reside and have a really good job. Here, let me see if I think I got the camera kind of screwed up here. Anyway, it's still recording. I'm messing with the camera, but yeah, I'm here, and I drove from San Diego to Ohio, and I can say that California was pretty clear when I left, all the way through New Mexico, but when I got to Texas, the sky was white. Not a cloud in the sky, but completely white. Like they're gonna fill in all these voids, and sky was completely white. That's a whiteout. Whiteout at the horizon. There's no denying what they're doing. This is not water vapor. This has been discussed by the academia. Academia knows what's going on. And what we're seeing, what's happening to the flora and the fauna is just, it's everywhere. The evidence is everywhere. Pretty sad. Well, I wanted to throw that out. Had a little time on my way back to the casa. Yeah, I've been talking too much. The deer went off that way, but anyway, so as I leave you, how do you like your skies? Natural or man-made?